What is up, YouTube? How's everybody doing today? This is Everything is Tech here from everythingistech.com, and in this video I have my review of the Samsung Galaxy S3 Verizon phone. This is the US version, and I just recently bought this phone just about a week ago to replace my old Droid X2. And honestly, I love this phone so much, and I'm really excited to get my hands on this, so let's go ahead and get right into the review. So one of the first things I want to talk about is the specs on the Galaxy S3, and the specs on any phone is what makes it awesome, and without the specs, of course, the phone would not be able to perform. So the specs on the Galaxy S3 is that it does feature a dual-core 1.5 GHz processor that includes 2 gigs of RAM, which honestly makes this one of the fastest smartphones in the US market to date. This features 2 gigs of RAM, and the dual-core processor really gives you a lot of power for apps and everything. And of course, the 2 gigs of RAM make it so much easier to multitask with the phone. And one of the best things I love about this phone is multitasking. Besides that, it has a great 4.8-inch HD Super AMOLED touchscreen display with a resolution of 1280 by 720, so you can definitely imagine that the pictures and videos on this phone look fantastic. Also, as far as the memory goes, you can have a 16 gigabyte version, or you can buy a 32 gigabyte version of memory that comes with the phone. And of course, if you ever fall short on the memory, there's always a micro SD card slot, which you can buy up to 64 gigs and go ahead and put that in your phone, and you already expand your memory by so much. So that's fantastic with this phone. As far as the camera goes, there are 2 cameras on this phone, which make it fantastic for any picture taking, day-to-day pictures. This has a back-facing camera, which is 8 megapixels, and also features a full 1080p HD video camera in the same back camera that is able to take 30 frames per second on the video. Also, the camera on the front is 1.9 megapixels that is capable of taking 720p video. So these are some fantastic specs. Now let's go ahead and take a really quick look at the design of this phone. So as far as the design goes on this phone, it's fantastic. Especially the first time you go ahead and pick the phone up, you're going to be really surprised because the phone, even though it looks like it's a large phone, it's really lightweight, and it's only 8.6 millimeters thick. Taking a really quick look at the sides of the phone. On the left side of the phone, you have the volume increase and decrease button. And then also on the bottom, you have a mini USB input that you can use to charge and sync your phone, as well as a microphone towards the right of the mini USB input. Then on the right side of the phone, you have your power button and sleep button, which allows you to turn your phone on, off, or put it in sleep. So finally, on the top of the phone now, we have the 3.5mm jack input, which allows you to connect your headphones to your phone. Then if you can tell, in the middle of the phone, you see towards the back of the phone that small black space. That allows you to, if you put your nails through it, to pretty much open the whole back, which is all made out of plastic. And you can open it up, put in your memory card, or even go ahead and take out the battery and put a new battery in. Then finally, towards the end is another microphone. Now, as far as the design goes, it's fantastic, really lightweight for a phone that looks kind of humongous, and honestly really slim. Great design to it as well, kind of something different than the usual block that you see in all these smartphones lately, like the iPhone or the Droid X and stuff like that. So I really like the new change in design. Also, one thing I'm not really a big fan of is the back of the phone. If you go ahead and turn it and look at the back, this back is really like a plastic, so it kind of feels a little bit cheaply made, and you can honestly just go ahead and open it from just like doing that, and you can see that it really bends, and you can start opening the back just like that. And yeah, the back opens are really quick and easy, and again, the back doesn't feel strongly made. It kind of feels a little bit cheaply made, not gonna lie. But besides that, forgetting the back of the phone overall as a design aspect, it's fantastic, really creative, and I really like the design of the phone. Now, to me, the second most important thing on this phone is the operating system. The first thing is the specs, because obviously without the specs, the phone would not be running. So after you have the specs done, all the design stuff done, now we're on the operating system part of this phone. This phone does run Android 4.0.4, which I believe is Ice Cream Sandwich. So really quick background information on why I got the S3 over the iPhone 5. For all those who know or don't know, I was in a really big debate on whether to get the iPhone or the S3, and I love both operating systems, the Android and iOS, but I eventually got the S3 because I really like the operating system on the Google Nexus 7, which I have reviewed on my channel and made several videos about. But that operating system and the specs on this phone really pushed me to buy this phone over the iPhone 5. So the operating system, the home screen is pretty much the same thing you see on most devices out here on the iPhone or even on the Android, you have 5 rows of applications. Not 5. You have technically have 4. Then you have this one home set of applications that always stay with you no matter what screen you go to. And honestly, the operating system is fantastic. No lag at all. Instant response. The touchscreen on this device is fantastic as well. I don't have to double click anything to make it pop up more than once. Go ahead and click internet browser. It opens up instantaneously, which is fantastic. No lag at all. No slugginess. So let's go and go to the apps. I'll go ahead and show you guys my apps I have really quick. I have the basic apps. I've downloaded, I think, Astro Manager, and of course the Flash, and Facebook, Pandora, and Instagram, speedtest.net, camera applications, and stuff like that. So I don't really have that many applications on my phone because I really don't need them. I just like, if I really need an application, I go ahead and just buy it or download it. But I do that when I find out I need an application. I just don't go ahead and start downloading random applications. I don't know. I think for me, it just feels like the phone gets sluggish as the many more applications you have on the phone. Going to look at widgets, there's some really cool widgets on here. You have alarms, you have lighting widgets, you have bookmark widgets. There's just so many different possibilities you can go with the widgets. You have different types of clocks. Whoops. And you have Facebook, Twitter, Google search. You also have a My Verizon data for Verizon users and Pandora. And there's just so many widgets on this phone and the operating system. It's fantastic. So final words on this operating system is that it's wonderful, it's awesome, and honestly, I don't have enough words to even really describe this operating system. That's how good it is. From the Droid X2, the operating system that was 2.3, I think, compared to this operating system, which is 4.0.4, there's a big difference. It feels like a whole new operating system. The 4.0.4 operating system is really nice. Again, no lag, no crashing, no problems at all yet. And that's really fantastic. I definitely have to give Google a huge props for the really great operating system they've made. And honestly, cannot get enough of it. And the operating system, again, is what makes a phone really run. That's what the phone really runs on. You might have good specs, but if you don't have a good operating system, the phone is pretty much useless because you won't have a good phone without a good operating system. So, again, the operating system is great. Awesome, and really the operating system is probably one of the biggest factors that did influence me in buying the phone. One also really quick note on the new upcoming operating system for this phone, Jelly Bean. That is already out in the UK and rest of Europe, but America hasn't gotten it yet. So the United States will probably see it coming in the next few months, maybe by Christmas time. They might actually have it out and available for Verizon users, but we are last in line right now to get Jelly Bean. So hopefully when Jelly Bean comes out, that will really put this phone to the test. Next thing I want to cover is the phone call quality and the keypad. As far as the keypad goes, though, it's really simple to use, and it's really the same thing you'd find in most phones out here today. As soon as you go ahead and start clicking numbers or touching numbers, it will look for any number in your contacts that match. And if you have matching, you can select their number right away without typing the whole number, and it will go ahead and take you to that person and start calling, which again, I think that's available in almost all smartphones. As far as the phone call quality goes, it's really nice. I think it's a lot better than the previous Androids I've used, especially the Droid X1, the Droid X2, and even the HTC, so phone call quality is pretty good. I haven't had any drop calls yet, or I haven't had any problems with the person on the other end not being able to hear me well. In most cases, they always heard me really clear, and sometimes they even complimented me on the clarity of the voice because it was really that clear. So again, no problems with hearing the other person on the other line or the other person hearing you on the other line. So bottom line, phone call quality pretty good. Same thing you find in most phones today, but this will definitely get the job done if you're going to be talking a lot on this phone. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a quick look at the messaging or the texting application on the Samsung Galaxy S3. One really quick thing I really like about this right off the bat is that with this phone and the operating system, say you go ahead and get a new text message and you delete it from your notification, if you're ever on the phone or on the home screen, you can see the number of unread text messages you have, which is fantastic. And I didn't have that option on my Droid X2, so coming from the Droid X2, that was a really big thing that I really liked on this phone. So let's go ahead and open up the messaging app. Open it up really quick, like all the applications open up on this phone. Then again, if you have an unread text message, it's going to go ahead and show you right next to the name of what is unread. So here's the application, and the interface is really nice. And also, one good thing about this is you can also change the interface a little bit, which you couldn't do in the previous operating systems, especially in the Droid X and the Droid X 2. So if you go ahead and click on the settings, you can change the bubble type, and you have all these different options, the color and everything. You can also go ahead and change the background style and have a different color background, which is really cool. And then also you can change, or there's actually an option where if you go ahead and click on the option use the volume key, this will pretty much allow you to increase the size of the font by just clicking on the increase on the volume or the decrease on the volume button, which is a really nice feature to have. And then the last thing I really like about this phone, or not even just the phone, but the operating system and the app itself, is that say I want to go ahead and call someone, say I want to go ahead and I'm texting this person, and I want to go ahead and call them. All I have to do is pretty much go ahead and have my phone like this, and make sure it's on portrait, and then go ahead and just put this right to my ear, and here we go, 1, 2, 3, put this in my ear, and it'll make a vibration sound, and it'll just go ahead and start calling the person right away with no hassle, and that is fantastic. The third thing that probably really amazes me about this phone is the photo and video quality. As far as the video quality goes, it can take up to 1080p videos, 1920 by 1080 resolution with up to 30 frames per second, which is awesome. And also this can take 8 megapixel still photos that have a resolution of 3264 by 2448. So the first photo you see right now is taken about 11 a.m. There's a good amount of sunlight outside, and again the photo came out really decent. It was really clear, and you can really tell how well the photo came out. I think it came out really decent, and this was just to show how well the camera performs in daylight. The second photo also is the same, taken in the same situation, just a different angle of a different flower that in my garden, and again came out really nice. I can really say much about it. I think it's really clear, and you can really see some water droplets if you can on the sides, which again shows how well the phone does in capturing small details. The third photo was the same flower that you just saw in a different angle, and just to give you another different view of this actual flower. Also came out really nice because I like how the background was really blurred out. The fourth photo you see is just to show how the phone performs in low light situations. I didn't use a flash at all, but again, the photo came out nice. You could really read the text on the marker, so that is always a good thing. This next photo I took was of a Cheerio, and I took this photo mainly to see how well the details come out. And this really looks really nice, vivid colors. Really, colors do pop out, especially when I looked at this on my iMac. You could really see the clarity in this photo. Finally, the last photo is to show how well the flash works. I took this photo in really about like 2-3 p.m. So, and I just put the flash on. So I put this in a bag. This flower, all these flowers are in a plastic bag, and I just turned on the flash and took a photo to see how well the photos came out. And this came out really clear. So flash also on this phone does a terrific job of taking photos in low light conditions. Next thing is the video, and I really want to show a really quick clip that I've taken outside in the daylight with this phone. So I'm outside shooting some 1080p video for you guys, so you can probably tell how the voice sounds and how the microphones work as well. But the video looks really nice from the screen itself, and I really am amazed. Really great video camera, and the voice quality also sounds pretty decent. One of the last few things I want to talk about with this phone is the battery life. And the battery life on this is like any other Android device, so there's nothing to be surprised about. It's nothing extraordinary. This lasts you the whole day. I usually start the day with about 100% battery life, and I end the day with about 20 to 15%. And I do use my phone a lot. I'm constantly browsing the web. I'm texting. I'm using all my applications that I have installed. I use Netflix, watch YouTube videos, so that definitely makes a huge impact on the battery life. So the bottom line with this battery is that the battery life is decent, nothing too extraordinary or surprising. This battery life will most likely last you the day, but as the next day comes, you will definitely need to charge the phone. As far as the 4G LTE speeds go, I'm really impressed with them. They really give you a good amount of speeds, and the speed I get with the 4G LTE is almost equivalent to what I can get at home. I can get about 25 megabits and download, and about 15 megabits upload, so that's amazing. Also, web browsing on this phone is really amazing. It has internet as an application, and again, it's a really great application. One thing I really like about this web browsing is, especially even in mobile, you can actually zoom in really and just really zoom in and see how well the text is on this phone. You can really see really clear, and it's amazing. I really like the phone because the screen And with a 4.8-inch screen and the amazing web browsing experience, you really enjoy using this phone. I just want to sometimes just pull my phone out and just re-look at a page I just recently looked at a few minutes ago, because you just really get into web browsing on this phone. And I really like to read a lot, so sometimes I like to go on the NewYorkTimes.com or Mac Rumors or anything I like to read on. And it's just really fun to read on as well, because the text really pop out, really clear, and it really doesn't strain your eye that much. Let's go ahead and take a really quick look at how Flash works on this phone. So go into my YouTube channel, Everything's Tech, and this is the desktop version. Flash and everything work just fine in this. You do have to download Flash from the Play Store. Once you download it, it works like a charm. And with a 4G LTE connection, I don't think you can have any lag at all once you start playing the video. So it takes a few seconds to load up.
This is George. He is a good little monkey and always very cute.
And again, it loads up instantaneously, and there's no lag at all once you start playing the video. That's awesome, and I really like the web browsing experience, along with the 4G LTE speeds and the 4.8-inch screen that this device has to offer. It really does make web browsing experience awesome. So some really quick words about this phone before I go ahead and end this video. First off, you can get this in two versions. You can get a 16GB version or a 32GB version. 32GB version is about $250 with a contract, of course, and the 16GB is about $200 with the contract. Without a contract, this runs you about $570, so that is a lot of money for buying this phone without a contract. But I mean, I guess if you really want it that bad, it's definitely worth the money. Just, I want to throw that in there, but definitely check this phone out if you're thinking of buying a phone, especially in an Android. I think this is one of the best Android phones out here in the market today. And of course, when the Samsung Note 2 comes out, that's also going to be a great phone. But for now, this is an amazing phone. I can't really say enough about it. It's awesome. And also, I'm really glad I did go ahead with this phone instead of the iPhone 5. Don't get me wrong, I like both the phones. The iPhone 5 is a great phone. I'll also be comparing the iPhone 5 and the S3 really soon once I get my hands on the iPhone 5. But for now, this phone is simply amazing. I would definitely recommend it. It's a great phone. Love web browsing on this. And again, I haven't even really been using my laptop or my iMac or even my iPad. I've just been using my phone lately, and it's really that fast and it's just that easy to use. And I just enjoy using it that much that, again, it's just gives me a really fun experience. It doesn't really need me to go ahead on my iMac or my laptop and start using that. So this phone is awesome. I can't really describe it, and I would definitely recommend this phone to anyone looking to buy a phone right now, especially on the Android side. So thanks very much for watching my video. I will have a comparison of this in the iPhone as well as a review on the iPhone 5 as well. So if you guys are an iPhone lover, you want to go ahead and maybe check out the iPhone 5, I'll have a review up on that really soon. But for now, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys all have a great day. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the video down below or send me a message or an email. I'll definitely get back to you guys ASAP. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Peace out.